We're live.
Hey, everybody, welcome to The Superlative. I'm your host, Edward Bushi. This show exists because I believe the most useful thing you can do with a few minutes of time with a founder is to sit across with someone who has really done some amazing work and ask them how they did it. No fluffs, no edits, just one guest, one conversation live. My guest today has a story worth hearing. Charles Cormier has joined us on the first episode of the Superlative podcast. Thank you for being here. And would you like to start it off, Charles, like giving an introduction about yourself?
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for having me on and honored to be your first guest here. Yeah, serial entrepreneur, 10 years in the making, right? Like it's all about putting in the work, being smart, creating system, being energy efficient. And yeah, at the other end of that, you get output, right? Money, happiness, friends, nice connections like you had that I met through Sunny. Sunny was a client of mine, right? Like through
Wow.
GTM Ventures that I've been running for what 10 years now. So I'm quite obsessed and really good at go to market with
Mm,
cold email specifically. And my
yeah.
latest venture, Sunny, yeah, was a client, and I discovered he raised 100 million the last year. Is like, why not launch RaasRocket together and use cold email to actually raise capital? And that was a huge hit as well. So that's been my latest one.
Yeah, you two make a really amazing pair working together. And I'm happy for you guys. Like you clearly operate with a lot of conviction. Like where does that come from and what were you like as a kid?
Yeah, it's time and energy invested. I guess it's pure experience, right? Like running an ultra, for example, you don't really bother about running 110K when you've run so much kilometer. I think we call it like miles on legs or something like that, right? So
Yeah.
that confidence is it's not fake, it's just like experience and being wired into the market on a daily basis, having so many clients, doing
Mm,
podcasts like this one, for example. So that's the conviction part. My childhood, and yes, it's a good question because there's always like the iceberg, right? Like what tells you why am I so obsessed with success and being rich and being successful and surrounding myself with like the best? I guess it's I mean, we're all wired for survival as humans, right? But I
mm,
think most society has gone really comfortable in the last couple of decades. And me, I sort of used the chip on the shoulder that I got from my childhood to propel me, right? Even if it's true or not. So, for example, I had a very nice childhood, right? Like my dad's an entrepreneur, my mom worked for the government, right? And I've always been like secured and it's so financially right. And
mm.
my parents gave me great degree of freedom, and I was quite quote unquote successful in primary school, being the most popular kid on the block. But then that stopped like in high school, right? Like I had my puberty later, right? And
Mm.
I don't know, it's like a big fish in a bigger pond. And that sort of weighed on me for some time, right? So less success with the girls and so forth. So I sort of turned to first video games when I was like a teenager. Was really successful at video games. So Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, which I'm watching while I'm working on this screen always. And then partying, right? Like drugs and all of that, and getting girls later on. So I wasn't too healthy, right? I just wish I would have discovered entrepreneurship later, sooner, right? Rather
Mm.
than later. I discovered entrepreneurship, I think, at 18. Started a bunch of businesses, drop shipping, and discovered I could make more money than my teachers at uni, right? Like I was watching them giving me a course on fucking concepts and theory, while in
Mm.
practice I would make fucking money. I was like, dude, what are you even saying here? Talking about fucking bullshit like economy and all of that, while I'm making money on this laptop. I'm buying stuff and reselling it at a margin on Kijiji, which you probably know because you're Canadian, right?
Yep, yep.
Buying stuff on AliExpress, reselling it on Kijiji, and making healthy margins. That was my first stuff. Then I got to launch agencies, right? Like agencies, marketing agencies with a first co-founder. I went through an exchange trip in Hong Kong and discovered I could make money from my laptop at like 20. And that really changed my paradigm. Then I met my wife here in Oaxaca on Tinder, of all things. We started traveling the world together for 3 years. That also changed my life. We established ourselves here in Oaxaca with 5 dogs. And 3 days ago, I had my daughter, right? So that's the long
Mm.
story short of Charles.
Yeah, that's amazing, and congrats to you, Charles. So yeah, I mean, let's go on that. Like you just became a father, right? And how has that changed at all? If how you think about risk and time?
Yeah, changed me already. I can tell that it's not even too early to ask me that question, right? Like, at first was like I'm gonna send you an Instagram post I did about that, but I
Mm,
felt tectonic plates inside me move on day one, right? Day fucking one. Like, I felt some changes in me, and I couldn't describe them because it was too much emotions, too much data, right? And even to this, I can try to describe them. I still digesting, but certainly it added color to my life. I would say it added emotional shapes. I tend to be a very rational and systematic and energy efficient being. That's my role
mm,
also with her, right? It's like the protector, the thinker, the systems maker. I buy
mm,
stuff for my wife, nannies, for example, and anything she needs, and I protect her, right? Like that's my role. Um, which was already sort of my role. Over the years, I managed over 3,000 employees, right, with my various businesses. And I've always considered myself a dad. I was also a dog dad even before that. So that sort of been my role. But yeah, a lot of texture that it added to me. And me, to be
mm.
honest, I know that it's going to be hard. There's going to be rough parts for sure, but I'm already used to that because I've
Yeah.
never chose easy, right? At ultras are fucking hard. One of my dictum in life is do hard things, right? So
Hmm.
if that part I've already cracked with system, and obviously I'm not perfect, I am gonna burn out at some points, but that leaves me with the very enjoyable part, the philosophical life slash yeah, existential part, really, of getting all these lessons, becoming a better human, right?
Mm.
And understanding deeper things about life, like creation, right? Like, how crazy is this, that like little beings can come up to life and they have needs, um and
And
they're
you have to take care of them.
vulnerables. Yeah, there's so many lessons to be learned in there, and watching a little brain grow, right? And you roll into the spectrum of things. I think it really makes you a better person, especially a better man, when you
Mm,
have a daughter, right? It teaches you that women are not just like sexual tools, right? Like,
mm.
women procreate, they're essential, and they have a lot of things that us men don't have. So anyway, dude, I
Mm.
could go on, but that's the
Yeah.
blurred part of my brain because I'm still digesting it,
No,
obviously.
no, I totally appreciate that. And just like one final question on that side of things, or rather, like about your background, right? Like, was there was is there something Charles now knows that Charles 5 years ago didn't realize or didn't understand back then?
Yeah, a whole lot, but I think I was pretty mature. Like, there's been phases in my life, right? So the full phase before I was an entrepreneur, that was one. Because entrepreneurship teaches you so much. Then another phase of big growth and maturation was meeting my wife and traveling the world with her.
Mm,
Um, and then another one that I'm getting into was this, right? Like taking care of another little being. I won't say I've fundamentally changed, right? Like the 95% in me is still there, but yeah, the lessons about, I don't know, like, yeah, definitely a boost on patience, right? I
mm.
love the philosophy of infinite patience. You shouldn't ever give you a breaking point. Oh, I'm gonna snap after 3 times, right? Like, oh, she didn't understand after 3 times. Okay, fourth time I'm snapping. No, just like be forever patient. Why?
Yeah.
Because
Have
it's
no
about,
gate.
yeah, it's about energy efficiency. If she didn't
Mm,
understand, maybe we should repeat it in a different way,
mm,
and gesticulate more, or draw it, or help her visualize it better, or explain it to her with different words at different cadences, right? Until she understands. Because if you snap, then that's going to mean less energy on her side and less energy on my side. So it's
mm,
like lose lose, right? So just a dumb primal decision. Obviously, these are harder to make in the moment, but I think infinite patience is definitely one. And then I guess emphasis on some existing points, like emphasis on systems, right?
mm,
Systems tend to solve pretty much everything in life. And a lot of people doubt system, even you might doubt these systems when you create them, but
mm,
systems compound. They fix everything. For example, the nanny, for example, ordering some products right online that might fix a problem, which is why money is important, right? Like money does solve a lot of problems. So yeah, generally systems. People try to fix one problem at a time when they
yeah.
should take out the deeper cause, the deeper root cause, and create systems that will fix this thing pretty much forever.
Uh, can I double click a little bit on that one?
Yes.
Like in
Triple
regarding
click on
sys,
it.
triple click on it. So, like on the topic of systems, what is the thing most people in your space are still getting wrong?
Hmm. About raising, let's start with product market fit, and then let's go with raising, because the two are sort of interrelated.
Yeah, I
Product
would love to
market
hear that.
fit is, again, it's a system. You need to create a system to create product market fit. So what is the best offer for the best audience, aka ICP, aka ideal customer persona? How do you figure out who wants what, basically? The answer to that is cracking the 0 to 1 or chicken and egg problem, which is massive energy. You have a system like the cold email system we built for you to
Mm,
test out as many offers to as many ICPs and seeing which one actually fits, right? Product market fit. Once you get product market fit, you get a calendar that looks like mine, that have full meetings, and obviously you get closes from these. You get cash in your bank account ultimately, right? um that's sort of how you fix it. I'm saying this is a problem because 99% of founders don't have product market fit. They're
mhm.
looking for it, they're praying that something will happen, right?
Through an
They'll use
intro.
randomness. Yeah, they're using their internal networks. They're posting on LinkedIn, they're like sending newsletters, they're not really knowing what to do. Me, the cold email system, it's wonderful because you can add shitloads of contact to campaigns immediately at a very cheap cost, which ultimately allows you to get product market fit as quick as possible. And then how that fixes the problem, the fundraising side of things, well, it's the same exact fucking thing in fundraising. Your ideal customer personas are VCs, right? And you need to find the best offer, the best pitch deck for them to get investor fit, right? Not product market fit, investor
Investor
fit.
fit.
And the
Yeah.
science is the same. As many campaigns targeting a specific class of VCs, might be CVCs, might be angels, might be family offices, might be investor titles, right? You A/B test all these offers to these different peoples, and you see where the fit is. And once you find the fit, then your goal is to double, triple, 10x down on it.
Mm.
And while most people would approach investing in total randomness, without the system, in a non-scalable way, sending emails manually, which is fucking insane in my head.
Yeah. Without seems like approach without intention. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So like you wanted to like build this product around like uh uh doing outreach at scale, right? When did you first realize the problem you're solving was worth solving?
Good question. Yeah. So after I've cracked the money code with the drop shipping thing, I realized it wasn't scalable, right? Like ordering
Mm,
stuff on AliExpress and reselling on Kijiji, it's like time intensive, and the goal is to liberate yourself from operations and make money faster, more money faster, without necessarily trading as much time and energy as possible. Um, The thing is, while I was starting that business, I was applying the very same philosophy that I was telling you right now, just at a
Mm,
less scalable pace, which is trying a bunch of fucking businesses with different ideal customer personas and seeing what fit the best. Back then, I didn't know cold email, right? So that's the sad
mm,
part. So it took me a while, but I decided to launch a couple of other businesses at the same time. So I had a nootropic business with a friend of mine, which, man, it was the best supplement ever in Canada, but it was so hard to be successful, right? That one
mm.
ended up closing down. I would also launch a couple of moonshots that never even got off the ground, like Smart Lens, like the Meta glasses, but like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I
Before
also
Meta.
launched, yeah, I launched a smarter one, a cash cow one, which was an agency with a partner. So it was doing AdWords as a service, doing websites as a service, right? But I had to leave this one because my partner wasn't like adding as much weight as I would. So I was like, why not launch my own fucking agency? And
Mm,
then my first agency, I remember that one of our first clients back then was a realtor. So I was
mm,
like, okay, niche realtors offer Facebook ads, product market fit. I ran this one to 30K MRR. And how I landed my own clients was cold calls, right? Like I cold called a realtor and I was like, hey, dude, you should buy my shit. And it worked. But as you know, it wasn't scalable. Cold calls is not scalable. So
yeah.
3 years, the clock moves forward. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking cold call. I had a call center with 200 employees, right? I tried that. And I was like, yeah, this is so not scalable. I need to pay humans and it's not yielding a lot of results. Let me try another source of go to market, which is cold email. I also tried LinkedIn outreach at the same time. I tried pretty much everything. And as soon as I started cold email, dude, I was like, holy moly, that is
Mm,
insane. How much leads I can generate for like $1 per lead, right? Like leads that before would cost me $100. So then I was like, okay, I need to double down on it. Fast forward to today, everyone fucking does cold email. You need to have a different offer. What are these offers? Either be super good at product market fit, like we talked about, so test a bunch of offers to a bunch of ICPs. Two, do partnerships, right? So we're gonna do that for you, Ed, as well. Once we do like go to market, we're gonna partner with people that can sell our product, right? Like that's
mm,
still working via cold email. But three, most importantly, and why we're on this call right now, podcasting. So you can still crack the code with cold email, even though everyone's fucking doing it.
yeah.
But if you invite them to a podcast, and that's a very long and important science right there, that can make you very rich. But yeah, it's most people won't understand why launch a
Mm.
podcast.
So you talked about your willingness to try lots of different things and then find things that scale like at as cheaply as possible, right? So you can execute things. If you describe your edge as a founder in a sentence, what how would you say it in one sentence?
Systems and energy efficiency, which are both related.
Mm,
I mean, you can see from now the energy that I deploy. I'm selective where I deploy my energy, but I have big energy reserves as well because I'm an ultra runner and I work long times. I mean, I impose a lot on myself. I do have probably a genetic cognitive advantage as well. I've always been smart, good at school, and I don't know. My parents are pretty smart, both of them. My dad, he's an entrepreneur too. But yeah,
mm,
energy efficiency and systems, right?
mm,
Let's go on both like very quickly. Like energy efficiency, it's an obsession and understanding that if we're wired for survival as human beings, the goal is how much energy can I deploy vs what's going to be the return right now, right? And
okay.
then we're going to talk about systems very quickly right now as well, because the goal is to deploy systems, aka technology, so that you can have output without putting inputs, which is energy, right? So my full base, everything that I think about in this life is how much energy will this return? And cash is energy, right? Like you're a crypto guy, Ed. So
Mm,
I view cash as energy, which is why right now I have two nannies, right? It's like, oh, sure, I'm gonna inject money into them, but how much is that gonna return? If I buy a product, I'm even gonna calculate how much time is gonna take me to get that, for me to buy that product and for the product to arrive here and the value it's gonna create. And I calculate ROI on pretty much everything, right? Which makes me very efficient. I'm gonna calculate sleep in that equation. I'm gonna calculate how much physical activity that I do on a daily basis. That's my edge. I feel there's very few human beings that think in terms of efficiency. Most people are not in control of their own schedule and where they spend their time, and they
They're
make
caught
their
up by it.
decisions on very simple mental models. I pretty much use a GPT for every single decisions I make as well, right? So obviously I'm a technologist, but I feel that's my core advantage, like thinking in terms of energy.
Mm. Okay, I really appreciate that. So like going to like your company, right? Like where are you in the journey right now, and what does the next 6 months look like for you guys?
Yeah, I wish I would be further in my journey. Like I would have been supposed to be a billionaire by now. I'm 32, right? So that was, my objective is like millionaire by 30. So technically I reached it, but that was like too easy and
Mm,
not ambitious enough. So I'm in a state of urgency, and not just because of that, right? Also because AGI is coming, right? Like
mm,
AGI is coming, it's gonna slash like pretty much 99% of the job market, is gonna lead to cataclysmic shifts in this world, and I'm preparing for that, to have parts of that infra, right? Like own this actual infrastructure. That's my goal. It's all about energy efficiency, and the AI is the main outlet to store as much energy as possible and to create as exponential energy in the next couple of years. That is my obsession. Right now, RaasRocket and GTM Ventures, we're generating cash flow. We're probably not advancing as quick enough, but my goal is
mm.
creating like a full ecosystem of VCs and founders, being the middleman, right? And just that in itself is like super exponential. I'm literally like the bridge between money and startups, and also obviously I'll have ownerships in both these funds and the startups, right? That's already a very good start, and own some good chunk of the AI infrastructure and agentic infrastructure that is coming right now. So
Yeah, it
that's my
opens
full
up.
focus and goal. Obviously I have a daughter, yes, but even her, everything that I'm doing right now and my time is like preparing her for that cataclysmic shift that will happen probably before she hits the market. So I have like side projects that are moonshots, like defiantschool.com, that is an AI school for kids, right? Obviously my daughter's gonna go to that. And yeah, that's pretty much my obsession. My urgency is positioning myself, and obviously through massive action, so that when this fucking singularity moment hits, I'm in a good position and I'm not caught off guard like pretty much 99% of humans out there.
Yeah, the urgency about the coming AI shift in the industry will be huge, right? And I totally feel you there. And you chatted about like you started, you're doing really good, but you're not getting to the goals that you wanted to go yet. So like, what's the thing you need most that you don't have right now?
I pretty much have everything except yeah, that super ambitious goal that is sometime yeah, contrarian as well, because it's not for example, if I would be a billionaire now, I don't think I would be as good like health wise and family wise, right? There are like some additional sacrifices to be made. There's always a feeling of lack, and that means you're probably not doing everything mentally well. So I could optimize and tweak some mindsets of mine regarding that. Like Sunny says, like not come from a place of lack, but from a place of abundance. I tend to swim in abundant waters, but I still want some urgency feeling. Maybe my
Mm,
most of my urgency feeling should come from AGI, not necessarily from being a billionaire, because it's not the best, most rational goal. And
mm,
also money might not even mean something in 5, 7, 10 years from now, once
yeah.
UBI is there, once AGI is there, right? And also another insight on that is that, like I said, having a daughter added a lot of color to my life, right? And abundance. And like I don't need necessarily more money to be happier, right? And to find more meaning to life. Like my daughter's adding tons of meetings right now, so it's not like I'm in this place of lack right now.
Yeah, that's really, really powerful. You know, like I appreciate you sharing your story, sharing your how you think about the world and what's coming and what brings a lot of joy to your life. So like thank you for like sharing that and giving it to the guests in this space. We're gonna uh land the plane, so to speak. But before that, Charles, how can people reach out to you and learn more about what you're doing?
CharlesCormier.com is my main website. I run RaasRocket with two A's .com so that, yeah, people can raise money faster, founders, right? And yeah, GTM.ventures, generally speaking.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Charles, appreciate you having you over as our first guest, and hope to like catch up with you more on your story and about like AGI, family, and startups in the future.